What is up, guys? In this video, a huge update on that $500 giveaway challenge, and I'm breaking down this past weekend's UFC Reignmaker contest, Halloway versus Allen. Let's go. All right, guys, so I want to start this off with the nerd alert, hashtag nerd alert. Looking at the numbers here for that rare contest, I'm looking at the 418. I'm going to start tracking these bad boys. I feel like this is an important thing to know as far as getting your money's worth with this. As we all know, this is pretty new. And we want to know if this is a somewhat profitable venture to get into. So this past weekend, 418.23, Allen versus Holloway. The rare contest had a $25,000 prize pool. There was 2,880 entries. This gives us our entry ticket being worth $8.68 with the 20% rate, because as we all know, DraftKings does have to wet its beak. That brings us to a $10.42 entry worth. The winning lineup, that entry was about a $6.74. Personally, my entry was $18.07, so I wasn't very efficient with my money relatively. So looking at the winning lineup here, it goes to I wonder if it's even him, Osimo. It might be somebody that jacked his name, or he could be paying somebody to play this game because he has a she's load of entries. I think he's just trying to get his name out there more. It might be him, it might not be him. Anyways, that's besides the point. He did win this week's rare contest, the 25K contest. He had his winning lineup. His captain spot was Edson Barbosa, who had a very surprising first round knockout, right? Sick knee, bruh. Ian Kutalaba, another first round finish. Lots of finishes here. We didn't anticipate that many finishes. At least Vegas didn't anticipate that many finishes. So, spoiler, I didn't do too well this week. Algio, who also had a finish, what was it? He had a second round finish, a takedown, and a knockdown. Scored him 116 points. As we all know, knockdowns are worth 10 points. Robertson had a second round finish, two takedowns, bunch of control time. Gomez, who I was pretty high on as well, had three takedowns, one knockdown, and a second round finish. So holy crap, it was a high scoring damn event. Damn it! All right, looking at where the winning lineup stood as far as Vegas odds, as we all know, the higher up they are, the generally the higher their win percentage is. And in this card, as we had anticipated, right, because there wasn't that many moderate to favorite favorites. What was I saying? There wasn't many moderate to heavy favorites. Mumbled my words there, as I always do. So the dogs were very live. To be exact, we had one, two, three, four, five, six underdogs win out of 14 fights. So about half of the fights, the underdog won. So that's pretty big. That's huge, especially with Reignmakers, because this is where we can really save money, is snatching up these underdogs. Two underdogs ended up in the optimal lineup and three favorites. So as you can see, the lower tiered fighters is where all the money was at, or the efficient money was at. Looking at the ownership tends to reflect their win percentage. The higher they are in win percentage, the higher their ownership is. Also, their popularity, like Max Holloway, we knew he was super popular. He was the main event favorite, so it's no shocker that he was the most owned fighter. Chris Gutierrez, one of the heavier favorites, ended up losing. So this goes to show you, don't always just be buying the expensive fighters. Again, we want to be efficient with our money. And as you can see here with the results, a lot of this points, these high points, came in the mid to low tiered fighters. So this is where you get efficient with your money in this fight card, right? Where we anticipated the mid to low tiers. We anticipated some gold there, right? So all right here is where the efficient money laid. So this brings me up to my next point, the challenge, right? The $500 challenge. Um, I lost. I didn't even cash out. If you want to look at my lineup, I had Garcia as my captain. I paid up for him. Cutilaba as my other rare, who won. Had Arnold Allen, who lost the main event. I thought he was more of a value because I did want to have my hand in the main event. TJ Brown, who lost, and Putilova, who should have won. That would have robbery that was. It was such a robbery that I didn't even see the decision win. I just automatically thought she won. I was very shocked to open up my freaking results and see that she lost. So I had to double check to make sure that wasn't a mistake there. But three losses, you can't have three losses. The strategy here was to pick safe floors to obviously win first place, right? I had anticipated a low scoring card, so I didn't think I needed that much of a volatile fighters. But I wanted worst case scenario. If I had two losers, I would still cash out. That was worst case scenario. Two high scoring losers. Who TJ Brown, I felt like if he would have lost, he would have still scored high, which he generally does, and he did score pretty high for a loss. TJ Brown scored. Where did he score? He scored 30 points, which is nice for a loss. Arnold Allen, who I thought he was going to score nice for a loss at 32 points, was just for a main event. I wanted a little bit more. That's more on the lower acceptable end. But the Puti Lava, that loss really ruined me at 13 points. So having three losses just um, cut me off of even min cashing. So that was the idea there, the strategy. I wouldn't change anything. I would do the same thing going forward. The huge news, the big update, right? You have to save the big news towards the end, so make you guys stay here until the end. Is so the original challenge was starting with $100, make it up to $500, and give that $500 to one person. I'm gonna increase that initial $100 to $500, so I'm gonna start playing with $500. The prize is still gonna be $500, essentially gonna double my money. I do that for a couple reasons. Um, I want to be realistic with my bankroll. Uh, so playing with $100 and risking like $50, 50% of your bankroll is not a good idea. So I want to start uh, playing with $500 and $50 being like 10%, maybe going up to like 60, 70. That way, because when there's fight cards like this, I was very successful in my regular DFS. I won. I didn't win any tournaments, but I cashed out pretty good on a couple tournaments because I maxed what is it called? Max multi entries. I played a bunch of lineups. I played like over 100 lineups because in fight cards like this, where there's a lot of live underdogs, you want exposure to a bunch of different fighters, right? Because there's a lot of just pick whoever you want to pick. Just make sure they're not going to be duplicated because you have such great opportunities to get different from the rest of the field. So with fights like this, with Rainmakers, I want to introduce that idea more with the Rainmakers and play more lineups, more lineups. I know 100 lineups isn't a feasible thing because each lineup would I pay basically $20. I'm not gonna be playing $2,000 worth of lineups. I'm not Asimo. But I do want to play like four or five lineups, a bunch of with different fighters, just so I can have exposure to a wide range of fighters, and that's gonna help with this because that's gonna bring our variance down. This is a principle of being a profitable player here, and goes with all games of strategy. It's all based off probabilities. So in the long run, if you're playing the game right, you're gonna win, but you're gonna be going through these stages of wins and losses. And in order to minimize those stages of a bunch of losses, is to play more volume, play more, expose yourself more. So if you're truly a profitable player, you won't experience as many as like lows. You know, like it will lower the variance here, and that's why I want to show you guys. I haven't been successful in these past couple fights. I've only been playing one damn lineup. I want to play more lineups so we can get a real sample of our strategy here. Plus, I feel like it's a smart thing to do, especially in lineups like this and fight cards like this. I feel like I'm talking it too much. I am done.